Today I'm going to show you how to make vanilla cupcakes with vanilla icing. For the cupcakes you will need 175 grams of self-raising flour, 175 grams of caster sugar, 175 grams of margarine or butter, 3 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Firstly, in a bowl to your sugar, add your margarine and cream together until well combined. Then add your eggs and your vanilla essence and give it a really good mix. Then add your flour and mix really well until well combined and you have a nice smooth batter. Then to a pre-prepared cupcake tin, add your cupcake cases and then divide the mixture. Then pop in a preheated oven at gas mark 5, 190 degrees centigrade or 170 fan assisted for 16 to 20 minutes. Then for the buttercream you will need 175 grams of icing sugar, 75 grams of butter, this needs to be at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence and approximately 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. Firstly, I'm going to sieve my icing sugar. It's very much hit and miss if I sieve my icing sugar. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. In this occasion I have, because my icing sugar actually got wet, so it is clumpy. But it's kind of personal preference whether you want to sieve it or not. Then add your butter and with a fork press down your butter into your icing sugar until it is as combined as you can possibly get. 2 things. 1, you can do this in a mixer if you have a mixer. I wouldn't recommend using a hand mixer just because it tends to have a tendency to kind of kick the icing sugar up and you will find it covers everything. I either find that this method works because you're pressing down, it's keeping the icing sugar down, or if you use a mixer you tend to have covers on them so it keeps the icing sugar contained. The second thing is I filmed this on the hottest day of the year, that's why my butter was particularly easy to combine into the icing sugar. Usually it takes a little bit more elbow grease than this, so if you do find it's a particularly warm day, ironically enough it is actually slightly easier to make buttercream this way. But yeah, I didn't want people kind of trying to combine the butter thinking mine's not mixing that easily. How is yours mixing this easy? And it's just purely because my butter was very warm, so because it was like slightly melted, it was just easier to mix in. Then once it's as combined as you can possibly get it, you want to add in your vanilla essence and give this a really good mix into your butter sugar mix. You'll find it starts to come together, but it won't quite come together as much as it should do. It might come together into a really hard block of buttercream. So at this point you want to start adding your milk in little by little because it is far easier to add milk than it is to try and take it out, and just keep adding it until you get the consistency of buttercream that you want. So I say a table to 2 tablespoons worth of milk purely because it's really going to depend on the consistency you want. Also the temperature, so because it was such a hot day, the buttercream wasn't quite as stiff as it usually would be like on a cold day. It wasn't setting as much, so I found that I didn't need to actually use as much milk as I would have done had it have been say the middle of winter and it's like freezing. So it's very much, you know, on the day how you want your buttercream. So yeah, you just add a little each time and it will come together, and just keep going until you get the consistency that you want. And then I'm just going to top my cupcakes with my buttercream. I do this by adding it to a piping bag with a tip and just piping the top of each cupcake with the buttercream. You can do this just by adding the buttercream on top and just spreading it, however you want to decorate your cupcakes with your buttercream. And there you have it. That is how you make vanilla cupcakes.